How's everyone doing today? I see you, Shonda. Stephanie, how you doing? I see you. Um, I've been keeping up with the latest so far as the coronavirus vaccine. They are rushing. Um, so I felt like I needed to address it because I've been talking to people at work and talking to people out in the community, and um, some people are saying, yeah, they can't wait. They want to receive the vaccine. Well, I said, well, I know I was going to talk about wills as well as trust this week. So what we'll do that. Since they're rushing, I said, I better hurry and get this information out because some people are a little bit misinformed, and they take things at face value when we all know you really need to go and look and see what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so welcome to the channel today. Um, and this is interesting. This is a topic, particularly with where I'm going to go so far as the history is concerned, that some of you may be familiar with. Um, we just have to, we'll find out um, where we are. And let me disconnect that. Okay. So we'll find out, where we are, where we're going, and how you doing, Tina, Big Daddy? How you doing? So I wanted to talk about this topic because I get pings on my phone. Obviously, big pharma, most of you who know me, big pharma, the drug development process. Well, that's what I do. So, all of this information that's in the news daily, the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, NIH, the National Institutes of Health. These are all federal agencies, WHO, the World Health Organization. These are all federal agencies that I talk about frequently, obviously, because of my career. So what I wanted to talk about, since they're rushing how you doing, Ryan? Good to see you. Since they're rushing to try and get a drug on the market, just so you know, before I go into the history, again, I know this because this is my career. Just so you know, the typical time span that it takes for a drug, I mean, starting early development stages until we're actually placing the drug in our mouth, okay, to take it. That's usually a 10, possibly to 12-year process. So just keep that in mind. Um, they're rushing these vaccines. I think we're all familiar with Big Pharma, Merck, Pfizer, AstraZeneca. Those are the three main players. But of course, we know there's GlaxoSmithKline, there's Johnson and Johnson. There's several other um, big pharma companies as well. But Sanofi, that's another. But anyway, the main players, so far as this vaccine is concerned, those are the ones that you're hearing about the most in the news. So just keep that in mind. Keep that process in mind. Okay, 10, 12 years, depending on clinical trials and everything that's involved. Um, so we need to, be mindful of that. Now, the vaccine that they're saying is safe. Okay, folks. Uh, well, they've said that drugs were safe before in the past, and we all know what happened. Depending on your age, um, Fin. Anyone remember that drug came out? I think in the 90s for weight loss, and people were taking it, and people were losing weight. And the next thing we knew, people were having heart valve problems. People were having heart attacks, things of that nature. So, you know, we have to be, mindful, even though something is approved by the FDA saying that it's a safe product. We know from past experiences that hasn't been the case. So it may be safe for a while. Yeah, COVID-19 is real, Ryan. It may be safe for a while, and then you'll hear something down the road. Well, it causes this particular drug. One of the side effects is it causes colon cancer or it causes breast cancer. So people, you need to remember every drug has a side effect. It may be helping you with one, condition or situation that you have health wise, but then it could be hurting something else. So I just wanted to do a little history for you. I don't know how many of you are familiar. Yeah, Shonda, it is. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Tuskegee Syphilis experiment. If you are, just please type it in the chat section, please. And that's primarily the one I wanted to focus on. It's not the only um, medical experiment in human history that was disastrous and had disastrous results. It's the most known, and it is of all the unethical medical experiments in history, this has been deemed the worst. The Tuskegee experiment, Stephanie said, yes, I'm familiar with the Tuskegee experiment. Good. Anyone else familiar with the Tuskegee experiment? Tina, are you not familiar with what happened in Tuskegee? Ryan, are you? Okay, I have some other people in here. They haven't. Those of you who are here, please make you hit. Please, I only have one person who hit the the like button. Please go back and hit the like button so that more people can see the video. Um, Tina's familiar with it. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so I'm going to give you a little history. So this, I don't know if you're familiar, the Tuskegee experiment started in 1932. It went from 1932 to 1972, so 40 years. And the participants were in Macon County, Georgia. They were poor sharecroppers, poor African-American sharecroppers, for the most part, illiterate. So if you've ever seen the movie, I'll go into that later. You familiar, Ryan? You are familiar with it. Okay, good. So, long story short, these men were told that they were being treated for syphilis, but they were not. They were lied to. They were given aspirin, placebos, you know, herbal rubs, but they were not treated. Even 1947, penicillin was on the market, but they were the doctors in the town and surrounding towns were told if any of these men show up, do not treat them. If any of you know the nurse who was involved, of course, Tuskegee, this happened at Tuskegee University as an outreach. Nurse Rivers, if any of you are familiar, of course, she was like the liaison between the men, and they listened to her. Eunice Rivers, you can look her up, and she, you know, they again, them being illiterate, she was a nurse. Okay, she was African American, so they listened to her because they're like, this woman, you know, was going to take care of us. So the government was just saying, you know, hey, we're here to provide you with free medical health care, is what they were saying. We're just here to help you. Back then, if you had health problems, there wasn't really a particular name given to some diseases or disorders. It was just said, you know, you have bad blood is what, you know, they that was the colloquialism that was used. You have bad blood. So you know, who knows, from some of the diseases that we're talking about these days, diabetes and things like that was probably, you know, mixed in there too. So um, that was a problem because they were lied to initially, and of course, like I said, Nurse Rivers, they were listening to her. So this went on for years and years. Again, 40 years, folks. This was the largest, you can look it up, the largest unethical medical experiment in history. And we know there have been others. We know, if you're a big history buff, I love history. We know what Joseph Mengele did in the Nazi regime, particularly in the concentration camps, the medical atrocities he committed, but especially with twins. Okay, we know about that. Also, if you're into history, you know about the forced sterilization that has taken place in this country as well. Okay, so that's also an unethical medical, well, I won't call it experiment procedure. Well, those women were or people were lied to. They were told that you know, something was going to be performed, and then it wound up being something else, but they didn't know. So they were lied to. Um, so that was eugenics, sterilization. Most people think that Hitler and the Nazis came up with eugenics when actually that started here in this country. So Hitler kind of learned from us. Okay, so eugenics, basically you don't want everyone. Some people are here and some people are here, and you don't want these people who are down here to procreate. Basically, eugenics, because you're not fit. Okay, to keep put it mildly. All right, so again, this experiment went on um, and on. Okay, got to get rid of this. Um, the only reason it stopped in 1972, it was a whistleblower. We know whenever something is made public, and everyone's like, oh wow, they're in shock. Peter Buxton, you can look him up. He's a reporter. He's the one who blew the lid off of the entire situation. So it finally stopped again, 1972, and because of everything came out during the congressional hearings, and so it stopped. So what happened was 1973, I think, is when they actually um, appropriated some funds, some money, some funds to go to some of the descendants. Most were dead. There were still some descendants that were alive. There were some family members who were still alive. There was some, excuse me, not descent participants who were still alive. And so 1974, $10 million was appropriated. And then they all were supposed to, so the participants, um, any of their relatives, because the wives, of course, they were infected. The children as well were infected. So, they all received free medical care, free health care for the remainders of their lives. Okay, and the last syphilis experiment participant passed away in 2004. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. If any of you remember during President Clinton, Bill Clinton's presidency, he actually had a few of the living participants there come to the White House, gave them medals, awards, or whatever, and apologize on behalf of the nation. Okay, that was 1997. Um, Also, what else did I want to tell you? So this changed. How you doing, Donna? All right, glad to see you. Yeah, Donna, we're talking about the coronavirus vaccine and how they're trying to rush the vaccine. Big Pharma is trying to rush a vaccine to the market when typically that's a 10, maybe 12-year process. Okay. And so I'm just here to tell people, hopefully YouTube won't take my video down, but I'm just here to let people know we're talking about some history, some things that have happened in the past so far as American healthcare is concerned, where people have been lied to, and people have been used in unwilling uh, medical experiments that they weren't even aware of. Okay. Um, so keep that in mind. Wanted to share this information with you because I've been talking to people at work, talking to people. Sometimes, you go to the store, you talk to people, and some people are like, well, yeah, I think I'll get the virus. And so I'm like, wow, people need to wake up. And any of this, the information I'm talking about with you today, hey, Rhonda, how you doing? There are several videos on YouTube about the Tuskegee. Just go to YouTube, type in the Tuskegee Syphilis Experiment. You'll find a whole plethora. I've seen them all, obviously, because that's what I do. I've seen them all. There's several. And you'll just be astounded, at how these men, were treated. And then, of course, Eunice Rivers, she had a lot of regrets because, again, she was the liaison between the men. They trusted her. They didn't trust these people from the U.S. government, the United States Public Health Service, who they're still in service, okay, under the, what is it, Home Department of Health and Human Services, right? So they're still, how an agency will go 50 years and then they'll change their name or whatever. Well, it's the same agency pretty much, folks. It's, so just be aware and cognizant, do your research. And just because you're told that, a drug is safe, or something is safe, again, there are too many instances that have happened in the past where, you know, the FDA approved a drug. If you've ever seen, there are always commercials on where people are suing. Lawyers are like, if you've taken this drug and you've experienced, stroke, heart attack, whatever the case may be. So they approve drugs, and we know even when they go through the entire, 10, 12-year process, you still come a few years later, they come back. Well, this drug causes heart attacks. This drug causes strokes. This drug causes blood clots. Okay, so keep that in mind, folks. Um, so what do you think? I want to see in the comment section. What do you think about them trying to rush? I told you the normal timeline, the normal drug approval process timeline. So what do you think? They're trying to rush this vaccine to the market in less than a year. What do you think? Donna, very good question. Donna said, what are we to do? Donna, all I would suggest is to wear your masks, continue good hygiene like you normally do, and try to stay away from people, especially sick people, as much as possible. And just, you know, the way I do when I leave work, now we're wearing masks at work, obviously, but even like Donna, when I come home, I don't sit down on my furniture or anything. Because I want to take my clothes. I've been gone. I've been working all day, and you have germs. You've interacted with people. You may have germs on your clothing. Hey, how you doing, Kendall? Hey, all right, all right. I know, Donna. I know. Some people are saying that the virus is not real. It is real, folks. And here in North Carolina, we're in the red. I think we're double red. And I get pings and alerts on my phone every day with all the people who are contracting it. So it is real. Just limit your numbers. Stephanie, keep your hands clean, not with just hand sanitizer. Yeah, Stephanie, good point. If you are a person who thinks, well, hand sanitizer is all you need, experts will tell you, and you can find this on the CDC website, I think, as well. If you have access to soap and water, use that first. If you don't have access to soap and water, then use the hand sanitizer. But if you have soap and water, please use that first, folks. Wash your hands a lot. Now, most of those of you who know me personally, I don't. Donna, you were asking what could you do? Donna, I don't touch anything in public. Now, I was like that. Those of you who know me personally know, I don't touch door handles. If I have to pump gas, I don't touch the gas pump. I have gloves in my car. I don't touch anything. So Donna, I would definitely suggest that you do that. Don't touch anything in public. Even when I go to the store and I use my debit card and I put it in the little machine, I don't touch where you have to put your little code in. I don't touch that either. I take my wipes. Those of you who know me can attest to this fact. I take my wipe and I grab the little pin that you need to punch the numbers in. I don't touch anything in public. Donna, I hope that helped you. Now, something else that I do that may be a little bit too outlandish for some of you. Now, I have a pot of Clorox, hot water and Clorox in my sink 24/7. So when I leave the grocery store, Donna, items that, okay, even if I, check out myself, I don't use a cashier. I still take my dishcloth and I just wipe off. Like today, I bought some spray, pan spray. I'll wipe it off with that Clorox dishcloth. I just wipe things off because, again, who knows? Someone, maybe before you got there, maybe someone picked up that product and then they decided, oh, I don't want it. And they put it back. Does that make sense, folks? So, Donna, I hope that answered your question. Hey, what's up, Mo Dollars? Mo Dollars is here. Mo Dollars, we're talking about this coronavirus vaccine, and I'm just warning everyone not to be so quick to run out and get take a vaccine, because the typical drug approval process is 10, maybe 12 years. Don, okay, Donna, good, good, good. So Donna, you should be good because I know you. Every time I see you, you have a mask on. So um, like I said, just I would not touch anything in public. Donna, when you pump your gas, put a glove on. Okay. I have 2 likes. Can I get some more? Somebody hit the like button. Okay. Can I get some more people to hit the like button for me? Um, and that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. Again, this, with the Tuskegee experiment. And those of you who don't know, Mo said that's the devil's juice. No, that's Mo. Mo. Mo said it's the devil's juice. So um, we won't. Mo said no vaccinations. Okay, yeah, that's less than a year. No, that's not enough time. I'm sorry. That's definitely not enough time for you to say that vaccine is safe. No, no way. Um, so I'm with you, Mo. What if you want to call it the devil's juice? Hey, that's what we'll call it. Okay. Um, but I wanted to share that with you guys. And guys, do your research. Everything that I'm telling you, yeah, Mo, that was funny. That was I gotta respond to that was funny. Um, do your research and everything that I tell you here on my channel, you can look it up. So I'm not just sitting here making things up as I go. Um, Donna, I work in healthcare. I might not have a Donna, yeah. Now that is I've heard that people who work for the military and people who work in healthcare may not have a choice. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, now that's another Donna. That's a very good point because obviously, excuse me, you have to work. So what do you do if your job says that you have to get the shot? What are some solutions to that, folks? What do you think? I mean, and Donna, you're in my age group, and you're too old to start a new career. so I mean, what are your solutions? Donna, I give the flu shot to him. Oh, Donna, you have to get the flu shot. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, I've never taken a flu shot in my life. Tina said heard the FDA was dragging their heels in the past just to get a new drug approved, not so much in other countries. Germany is very alternative minded, part of Pfizer. Yeah, okay, Tina, very good. Yeah. And Pfizer, hey, when you talk about big pharma, Pfizer they were the number one pharmaceutical company for years because guess what? Any of you know about the drug Lipitor? Lipitor is for people who have blood clots and who have yeah, high cholesterol, which of course can lead to blood clots and things of that nature. So, yeah, Pfizer, it doesn't get any bigger than Pfizer, folks. They were the number one pharmaceutical company for years until just past few years when other drug companies were allowed to make a generic form of Lipitor. So, I mean, hey, it doesn't get any bigger than Pfizer. And we actually have a few Pfizer facilities here. Hey, Janice, how you doing? That's okay. Janice, I'm just talking to people about the coronavirus vaccine, and some people are talking about they're waiting, they're going to get the vaccine. Donna said they're rushing it because of the lame president. Yeah, well, Donna, since they're rushing it, how about they can take it? I'm not. No, I'm good. I wear my mask. Again, Janice, you know me. I don't touch anything in public. Everyone who knows me knows that. I don't touch anything. No, Janice. The typical, you weren't here earlier. The typical drug approval process is 10 to 12 years. No, and you're telling me that a drug is safe and it's been less than a year? No way. I don't want any part of that. Okay. Janice, who else just joined? You guys, please hit the like buttons for me. Yeah, I want to get this video out to as many people as possible because a lot of people are just waiting for the vaccine and they don't know how this works. And just because the government tells you something is safe doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Janice, before you got here, I went into a little bit of history about the Tuskegee syphilis experiments, which were conducted in Macon, Alabama, for 40 years, 1932 into 1972, where the men were lied to. Janice, I don't know if you're familiar with the Tuskegee experiment, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. The men were given placebos and aspirin. They were being lied to. They were never treated. Penicillin was developed in 1947. If they went to somewhere to try to get treatment, the doctors in surrounding towns were told not to treat them. And folks, let me go ahead and tell you the real truth. They wanted to study cadavers or dead bodies. They wanted to, do autopsies on the men once they were dead to see how the syphilis had devastated their bodies. So they didn't want them alive. They wanted them dead for their research purposes. Um, so that's kind of chilling, but that's what they did. So I'm not a conspiracy person, but I trust nothing the government tells me. Rhonda, nope, I'm not fooling. No, Rhonda, Mo Dollar said it was the devil's juice. Stay away from me. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't want that vaccine. I'm good. um, now, Donna, what you're saying, I don't know how that's going to go for military people and for healthcare workers, because I've already been told they're going to be required. And for my field, my career, who knows? I may be in the same situation eventually. So some of us, we're going to have some, we're going to have to do some soul searching and decide, what we're going to do. Um, Again, some of us are too old to start a new career, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Stephanie, what do you think? Or Jermaine, what do you guys think we should do? Donna, what do you think of some solutions to this problem, this issue? Okay. If you're not working, again, it's not that big a deal, but those of us who aren't old enough to retire, well, it's a big deal. Donna, if it's mandated, yeah, well, Donna, you have to. You can listen to me all day long, but if you don't get the vaccination and lose your job, and you call me, Lynn, well, my mortgage is due. I'm going to say, Donna, I can't help you. Who told you to? You better get that shot, girl. Okay, so um, Mo Dollars, don't put that devil's juice in your face. Okay, Stephanie, do what your heart tells you to do. Yeah, I mean, and again, if you're too old to start a new career, what other avenue do you have? So I don't know, guys. Again, I'll have to wait and see how it affects me personally. But if you have to work, so what else are you going to do? All right. If it's mandated, Donna, you have to do it. You don't have a choice. All we can do is hope and pray that it's not mandated, and that you have a choice in the matter, what you want to put in your body. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you. Those of you who came in kind of late, I also talked about some other instances of medical, I'll call it malpractice in history with the forced sterilizations, of course, that affected mostly minority communities. I talked about what happened during World War II with Joseph Mengele. He was called the Angel of Death. Of course, he was an SS officer under Hitler, and he did committed all of the atrocities, medical atrocities, especially to twins. He was just enamored with twins, and so he did a lot of bad things. Okay, who else? Anyone else want to comment? And that's all I had. Like I said, I was going to talk about wills and trusts today, but uh, some of the people I was talking to saying they were waiting for the vaccine. I'm like, oh no, I need to talk about this now. And don't just listen to what I'm telling you. Do your own research. All right. And God knows, don't listen to what the government tells you. All right. They'll just tell you anything. Okay. Um, all right. Who else? So that's mainly what I wanted to talk with you about today. Anyone have any questions about? And we know, God, they add to the symptom list like every day. Janice said, no, not for me. Okay, Janice. Yeah, I'm good. I have enough problems. I don't need to add to that list. Donna, this wouldn't be an experiment. Okay, it wouldn't be an experiment. Well, if they come back in a few years and say, well, now we're finding out that the coronavirus vaccine causes breast cancer. So basically, I'm more like, well, we're guinea pigs. So keep that in mind, folks. Every drug has a side effect, whether you see it now or 20 years from now. Every drug has a side effect. But of course, depending on your whatever your health situation is, you have to take these drugs. I'm not telling you not to take drugs at all. Janice, wait and see what all this. Yeah, I mean, in Janice, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 1 year where you actually see side effects taking place. So, with that, it's hard to tell, really. Okay. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, I got about 10 people in here. Um, all right, yeah. Wanted to share that with you guys, if you will. Those of you who have other um yeah, Donna. Oh yeah. Those of you who have other social media platforms, please share this information on your platform so that people will be well informed and not just listen to what the government or Dr. Fauci says is safe. Do your own research. Um, Look at what has happened in history. Okay, let that be your guide. Janice says, I don't take the flu shot. I don't either, Janice. I just stay away from sick people and I don't touch anything in public. Tina said, need to weigh the good to the bad. Some have severe anxiety and may need to. That's true, Tina. Um, a lot of people do have a lot of anxiety. And we know, of course, a lot of people have lost their jobs. And so a lot of people have been affected by the pandemic. We haven't had a pandemic like this in my lifetime. The last great pandemic in this country was the Spanish flu of 1918. And they have a lot of videos on that on YouTube as well. I've watched those as well. I'm a big history person. I love history. Janice, True Lantina. Okay, yeah. So just keep all that in mind, folks. Um, you know, when I hear people talking and I may know some more about a topic maybe than they do, and I hear them saying things, I'm like, oh my God. People really need to. Sometimes it's okay to play games on your phone and text and do social media, but people really need to start researching as well. You can't take at face value what the FDA tells you, or the CDC, or the National Institutes of Health, or the World Health Organization. You need to do your own research, okay? All right, I have 4 likes now. Can I get some more? Can I get some more people to hit the like button? Also, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this session. And if you don't have any other questions, I'm not going to keep you. I try not to keep you longer than 30 minutes because Sundays, if you're like me, you're trying to get ready for the work week and you have other things to do as well. Okay. All right. Any other questions, folks? All right. If you're still here, type here. All right. I have 9 people that are still here. Okay. I have Donna still here. Who else is still here? Type here so I can see it, folks. You know what time it is. Time for our weekly drawing. Janice, okay. All right, Stephanie's here. Anyone else still here? Rhonda, are you still here? Mo Dollars is here. Okay. Yeah, I got you, Mo Dollars. I got you right here. Who else is still here? Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Is that it? Rhonda, you still here? Who else is still here? Okay. Is that it? All right, I have some people on here, but if you don't type your name, I don't know. I can't tell who you are, so I can't enter your name in the. I got you, Rhonda. I just put you in. You're the last person I put in there. If you don't type your name or say something, and even though you may be watching the video, I can't see your name, so I can't enter you into the drawing. Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, 5 of us have hit it. And again, folks, share this, Donna and Mo, share this video on your Facebook pages, please. And Rhonda. Oh, okay, Rhonda, you're in. Rhonda, don't forget to share this on your Facebook, this video on your Facebook page, please, okay? We have got to get this out. Let's see who the first winner is. Donna, Janice. Janice is the first winner. All right, Janice. All right, let's see. Rhonda, I'm glad you're back. Stephanie, you still here? Stephanie, you're a winner. All right, we're going to do one more, folks. One more. Mo Dollars, are you here? Mo Dollars. All right. All right, those are our 3 winners, Stephanie, Mo Dollars, and Janice. All right. Okay. I will put that money into your Cash App account as soon as the live is over, but you know that already. Okay. I hope, yeah, congratulations to all today's winners. Thank you, Donna. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back to financial matters next week. Good show. Okay. Yeah, we'll be back to financial matters next week. I think you guys wanted me to talk about wills. So we'll get back to that next week. I have some more information for you. Mo Dollars. Yes, Mo Dollars. Congratulations. You finally won. All right. So everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe, share the information with coworkers or with your family, friends. It's all good information that we all need to know anyway. So hopefully this has been informative, and hopefully it will help you to make some decisions unless you're in a situation where you don't have a choice. And you know, and again, we all have to work. So I enjoyed spending my Sunday afternoon with all of you, and we'll do it again next Sunday. Okay. If no one has any further questions. All right. Okay. If you do, email me or you can contact me. All my social okay. All my social media information is at the bottom of each video. So again, let a family, friend or foe know where they know if they need some information on impertinent topics. See you all next Sunday, 4 o'clock.